It is 6:40 on a Tuesday morning, and you are standing at Pump 4 with your card in your hand. You don't fill the tank. You pump $11. You watch the numbers climb, and you stop them yourself right at 11:00. Because 11 is what's left after the light bill, and you already checked the app twice in the parking lot. The pump clicks, the receipt prints. You leave it in the machine. Inside, the coffee is $2.19. You decide against it, not because you don't want it, because $2.19 is a fee waiting to happen.
Level 1, $35. You are 22. There is no cushion in the account, only a floor, and the floor moves depending on when things post. You have never once been told the order in which they post. You just find out. Thursday, you buy the coffee. Friday, 11 in gas. Saturday at 3 a.m. A $10.99 subscription renews while you're asleep. Monday morning, the app shows negative $141.36 and 3 lines that each say the same word. You go into the branch on Ashland because you think a person will help. The teller is named Denise. She has a small gold cross and a voice she uses for this exact conversation. She reverses 1 fee. Only 1. She says it like a gift, and it is. Greg at the warehouse tells you he only uses cash now. He says it the way people say they quit smoking. You start checking the balance before you check the weather. An overdraft fee is not a charge for spending money you don't have. It's a charge for not having money.
Level 2, $100 instantly. You are 23. The app is clean and blue, and it doesn't call itself a loan. It calls itself an advance. There's no interest, which is technically true and functionally a joke. You tap for $100. Instant transfer is $4.99. There's a slider for a tip, already set at $3, and moving it to 0 requires 2 more taps and a screen that asks if you're sure. You leave it at 3. Friday, the money hits, and the app takes its $100 back before you've paid anything. By Sunday, you're short again. You tap for $100. Marcus in receiving has the same app. He calls it the loop. He says it grinning, the way you say things you've stopped fighting. $8 is nothing. $8 every week for a year is $416, paid for the privilege of getting your own money 5 days early, permanently, forever. The app isn't lending you anything. It's renting you your paycheck. Level 3. $400. You are 23 and a half, and the transmission is slipping. The storefront is on Halsted, between a nail salon and a place that cashes checks. Plexiglass, fluorescent light, a woman named Tanya with reading glasses on a beaded chain who has done this 10,000 times and is not unkind about it. $60 per 400, 2 weeks. You write a check dated the 15th and slide it under the glass and drive out with money. On the 15th, you can't cover it. Tanya doesn't lecture. She just takes another 60 and moves the date. She does this 6 times. By spring, you have paid $360 and you still owe $400. The principal has never moved. It sits there like furniture. You keep the receipts in the glove box because throwing them away feels like lying. A payday loan is not a loan. It's a subscription to one emergency that never ends. Level 4, $899 for a couch. You are 24. The apartment on 63rd has a mattress on the floor and a folding chair. And Rachel says, gently, once, that she doesn't like sitting on the floor. She doesn't say it again. She doesn't have to. The store on Cicero has a sign in the window. No credit needed. The couch is $899. The contract is $39.99 a week for 78 weeks. You don't do that math in the store. You do it in the car, in the parking lot, with the phone calculator. And the number is $3,119.22. You sign anyway. 2 men deliver it Thursday at 4 p.m. And Rachel sits down on it and pulls her feet up under her. And something in your chest goes very quiet and very warm. In month 9, you miss 2 weeks. A man calls and says the word recovery, not repossession, recovery. You pay it. You always pay it. Rent to own isn't buying, it's renting, with a rumor of ownership at the end. Level 5.
$1,500 against the Corolla. You are 25. The Corolla has 112,000 miles and a cracked motor mount, and it is the single most valuable thing you own. Blue Book says $4,200. The office has a lockbox on the wall behind the desk. Wes runs it. Polo shirt, wedding ring, a cough. He takes your title, and he takes your spare key, and he puts the key in the box and closes it. And you watch him do it. 25% a month. That's what the paper says, in a place you don't read until later. Frank at the yard drives a 1998 Ranger with a bungee cord holding the tailgate. He mentions once that it's paid for. He mentions it the way you'd mention the weather.
You make the payments. Everyone. But for 11 months, you drive that car like it's borrowed, and every time you park it somewhere new, you look back at it before you walk away. A title loan doesn't take your car. It takes your ability to leave. Level 6, 21.9%. You are 26. It is a Saturday in June, and the dealership on Route 30 has flags on the light poles. Jordan is the finance manager. Small office, bowl of mints, framed photo of a boat that is probably not his. He never says a price. He says a payment. He says $512 the way a doctor says a word you don't know. The car is $17,400. You still owe $3,100 on the last one, so that rolls in. Gap coverage rolls in, a service contract rolls in. 84 months. You sign 11 times. He turns the pages for you. $512 times $84 is $43,800. Driving off, the car smells new. And for about 9 miles, you feel like somebody. Then you pass the Corolla lot, and you don't feel like anybody. 3 years later, you owe $19,000 on a car worth $11,000. And the word for that is upside down, which is exactly what it feels like. They don't sell you a car. They sell you a payment. And the car is just what the payment is wrapped around. Level 7, $6,240. You are 27. The card was for tires, and then it was for Christmas, and then it was for a Tuesday. APR, 27.99. Minimum payment, $156. There's a gray box on page 2 of the statement that almost nobody reads. It says that paying the minimum will clear this balance in 22 years, and that you will pay $9,140 in interest to do it. You read it in bed at 11:40 at night with the phone screen too bright. You pay $156. Then you spend $130 on groceries with the same card, because groceries are Wednesday, and the statement is a math problem. Your sister Priya pays hers in full every month and calls it float. Same card, same bank, same paper. For her, it's a tool. For you, it's a landlord. And the difference is nothing but timing. The minimum payment is not a payment plan. It's the interest plus a tip. Level 8, 18,000. Consolidated. You are 29. The offer comes in a white envelope that looks like a bill. One payment. 14.9%. 60 months. $428. Signing it feels like rescue. That's the part nobody warns you about. 4 balances go to 0 on the same afternoon, and you sit in the truck in the credit union lot and breathe out for what feels like the first time in 6 years. Luis on second shift did the same thing in 2019. 5 months later, the transmission again, and the dentist, and a birthday. The cards are at $4,000 by October. They were never closed. Nobody closes them. Now, you have the loan and the cards. You sit with that for a long time on a Sunday, and you understand something that costs nothing to learn and everything to earn. No interest rate was ever the problem. The gap was the problem. The distance between what came in and what went out. Every loan you ever took was a bridge over that gap, and you kept paying rent on bridges instead of closing the gap. Consolidation doesn't remove debt. It gives it a longer runway. It is 6:40 on a Tuesday morning, and you are standing at pump 4. You are 31. You put the nozzle in, and you don't watch the numbers. It fills. It stops on its own at $61.20. That's the whole event. Inside,
You buy the coffee. It's $2.49 now. At pump 2, there's a kid in a gray hoodie holding his card, and he stops the pump at $11. And he glances at the receipt printer and walks away without taking the paper. You don't say anything to him. There's nothing to say that he'd hear. You know exactly how much is in his account. Not the number, the feeling of the number. You get in, you set the coffee in the holder, and you drive to work like it's an ordinary morning. Because it is one. Because that's what all of it was for. Nothing about your life is dramatic now. That's the prize.